No, I'll be there. I'm not going to let you down. Well, I understand that she's on 2 weeks vacation, so it's no big deal. I'll deal with it. Yeah. Listen, I'll talk to you about it when I get there, okay? Okay. Bye.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Well,
Brent welcoming me back.
Well, you said you'd have to deal with it? What does that mean?
Well, the lead story today is possibly an indictment against my father.
Oh, my God, what now?
Well, apparently Julia, our district attorney, thinks that Scott Clark has some evidence linking cancer deaths to working conditions on the oil rigs at Capital Enterprises.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing something about that. You're not blaming Julia for this, are
No,
you?
I'm not blaming her. I just wish she would have called me. I mean, evidently this is the rigmarole that kept my mother and father from being married last night.
You know, maybe you should pick another day to go back to work.
No, I'm going. I'm looking forward to this. If I shied away from my job every time my father hit the headlines, I'd never work.
That's probably true. Your old man has a tendency to find himself in the middle of a mess, doesn't he?
You don't think he's responsible for those men's deaths, do you?
Well, not directly. I mean, 15 or 20 years ago, which is when it mattered, nobody'd heard of the word carcinogenic.
Well, when the evidence comes out, I'm sure he'll be cleared. But until then, I'm not backing away from this.
You sure there's no way I could talk you into skipping it and maybe doing something highly irresponsible with me?
Mm-mm. No, and as a matter of fact, I think that today is the day we go full steam ahead with our normal lives.
It'd be nice to get some steam back into our lives.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of steam, how about we have a nice special celebration tonight?
I like the sound of that. You know, I don't suppose you need anyone to remind you, but I might mention that this is not going to be easy today.
I know, but I have to do it.
Well, you don't have to do it. I'm sure somebody else could do it.
Actually, it's something I learned from you.
What do you mean?
Well, there was a time that I think that I wouldn't have done this story because it would hurt my family. But you taught me about responsibility. And I have a responsibility to my job, which means I have a responsibility to tell the truth.
Oh, great. So when your father comes over here loaded for bear, he can just chew my head off for putting you up to this, right?
No. The fact is, if he's innocent of all these charges, there's nothing for him to worry about, and I'll do just as big a story on that as I do on this one.
Have I told you lately how proud I am to be married to you?
Yes, all the time.
Well, shut my mouth and call me redundant.
Redundant?
Hey, I already did that. You don't have to do that.
Oh, I think you better get going. I think we're going to have a great day.
Well, I think we are. How can we miss, especially since we have such a nice evening to look forward to? You did mention, I believe, something about a certain special celebration, did you not?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You know, come to think of it, we probably have enough time for a little sneak preview before you hit the road.
No. We'll never get to work.
So?
Responsibility.
I think just this once we could probably duck responsibility.
I don't think so.
And you say I'm the one who put you up to this responsibility, Rick?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's your fault. Let's go.
Obviously, I was too good a teacher.
No comment. I'm glad to see you.
Busy morning?
About 20 calls from the press, and you know, I get the distinct impression that Cece had his men plant rumors in order to throw this case.
What do you mean?
What I mean is the questions that they're asking. Nothing to do with whether Capwell Enterprises has overlooked safety regulations. More to do with why I, as the district attorney, is using the public office to get back at my former fiancé.
It's a good question.
A2?
Well, what do you expect? I'm married to a Capwell.
You're also a champion for the little guy.
I know. It's a servant of the truth. A helpless servant of the truth, I prefer, which is something we have in common, I believe.
We do. Listen, I was going to call Eden this morning. I hope she's not too upset about this.
Well, she would have preferred a phone call that she's maintaining. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How did it go with the suspects? Did you find anything?
No, they all had alibis. Right now, forensics is working up a report on the footprint I found on the beach. Do you recognize anything about that guy?
I can't help you because I didn't see the guy's face. He was wearing a mask the whole time.
Okay. He didn't come back to work too soon after what he put you through, did you?
No. I wanted to come back here. There's no way in hell I'm going to let that animal think that he's going to destroy my life.
There you go. If it's any consolation, I do believe we're getting closer to catching him every day.
It is a case that I'm looking forward to prosecuting.
I think I'd rather settle it out of court.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
I appreciate that.
Revenge can be sweet, though, can't it?
I hope.
Let me know if you hear anything.
First thing.
Aiden, honey, I'm glad I found you.
Daddy, is this true?
Do you think I'd knowingly allow those men to be hurt?
All I'm saying is that I worked for Capital Enterprises, and I know that we definitely didn't have excessively high working standards.
I don't understand how you can suddenly turn against me like this.
No, wait a second. I'm not turning against you. I'm saying I don't want to do the story without the facts, without the truth.
The truth? The truth is the future of our family empire is at stake. That's the truth.
Nothing to do with money. This has to do with these men's lives.
Have you seen any corroborating evidence about these accusations? No, they haven't come out because only accusations have come out.
Well, then, if you're not guilty, you have nothing to worry about.
Oh, Eden, please, come on. You're being naive. You know better than that. The public already believes that Capwell Industries is guilty of the deaths of those men. They could destroy us. We gotta stop it now.
There's nothing I can do.
You could make it worse. You being my daughter and going on the air and reading that story over the air, people will think that you believe that the charges against me are valid.
Daddy, I have a job. It requires that I have responsibility. Responsibility is to make sure that what I give to the public is not biased in any way. And I promise you that I will treat you as fairly as the next person.
Terrific. What about your responsibility to my family, to us? You have a choice to make. Or are you forgetting how quickly what happened to Cruz last year? Innocent people's lives are destroyed by false charges, Eden. These happen to be false charges. It's up to you.
President-elect Bush and his wife Barbara will spend the weekend at Camp David conferring with the president. Coming next, the deaths of several oil rig workers could be job-related. That story right after this.
30 seconds. Nice job, Eden.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. Let's go.
Stand by, Eden. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Acting District Attorney Julia Wainwright is investigating charges that several oil rig workers who died of cancer in the past few years were victims of job-related illness. The workers were employed by Capital Enterprises on one of the oil rigs off the Santa Barbara coast. There was no comment from the District Attorney's office about this investigation. Lawyers retained by the families of the late workers are waiting to see if the DA's office decides to file charges. They will announce their plans for any legal actions at that time.
Welcome back, darling.
In other stories...
Yeah, I'll get back to you. Okay, Jer, you had a chance to study this. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what it is you're expecting me to see, though, Cruz.
Well, look at the right print in each of them.
Okay.
You see how it contrasts? Look at it. It's more consistently deep. It's cleaner than the left in each case. Look at this. The leading edge here on the left is always a little worn at the ridges. Look at this. As if the guy were in the habit of dragging his foot.
Cruz, you're right. The guy's got a bad left leg.
I said this exactly.
What are you doing in here? Who are you? Security.
It was inconclusive. Hello?
I told you the baby was ours. Now you know for sure.
No, it was inconclusive.
No, I got the real report, and I wanted to give it to you myself.
This doesn't prove that the baby is yours.
But it proves it doesn't belong to Cruz. I guess if you were out pouring around, it could belong to just about anybody. But I know you wouldn't cheat on me, baby. And I've decided to let you break the news to Cruz yourself. Unless, of course, you want it to be our little secret.
Well, you were right about one thing. You were right about the fact that this was going to turn out to be a great day, because it certainly did, didn't it?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
You were terrific on the news, that's what happened. You handled that thing with your father's company flawlessly.
Oh.
Not to mention, I think I got a big break on the case.
What?
Well, you know, that footprint we found on the beach? Forensics went through it, and it seems to indicate that the man has a bad leg. And unless I'm completely out of what's left in my mind, that's going to help us catch him.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I should say.
Do you have any idea who it is?
Not yet. Sit down.
Okay.
I got the whole task force working on it, though. There's, you know, we're looking at medical records and talking to doctors and cross-checking what we knew about him before with what we know now. I think, you know, it'll be just a matter of time.
That's great.
What's up? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Come on. Talk to me.
I just got to thinking that things aren't as easy as I want them to be. I got to thinking about what you said and last night and how you feel.
Oh, no, you shouldn't think about that. You should think about what you said last night, because you were right. All I have to do is look in your eyes, and I know that everything's going to be okay. I mean it.